Welcome to the Flights of the Round Table Podcast, broadcasting from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. And now, here are your hosts, Dan, Drew, Daniel, and Florian.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is episode 43 of the Flights of the Round Table Podcast. And for the first time in over a month, we are back at a brewery. We are at Lower Left Brewery in the Low-So community. The vibes are great. A big group of runners just showed up. We got an action-packed show for you guys. We might even have two guests, maybe one reoccurring guest. Ooh. So stay tuned for that. I hope everybody is doing great today. How's everybody's Tuesday going?
And these runners, you know, the calves are popping, the abs are showing, their body fat percentage at an all-time low. These guys are primed for a beer. What a crowd to have.
Dude, they didn't even want a beer. There's like first spot that gives me calories. I'm there.
Oh, and speaking of running, didn't Sarah run a half marathon?
She did. She did. My girlfriend. She did a 5K, and
without shoes.
Yeah, right in the beginning, she went through a big patch of mud because there was a mud run as well. So it's a 5K mud run, and when she jumped in the first big patch of mud, she lost her shoes, and she did the entire 5K without shoes.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I think it's impressive.
We're going to call her Bobo Baggins from now on.
But I hope everyone's doing good tonight. As always, we are the Flights of the Round Table Podcast coming at you live from the Queen City. Follow us at FOTRT Podcast, always and forever. And Dan, I think we have a special guest on the mic tonight.
We do have a special guest. We actually have two. We have John, the general manager of Lower Left, and his dog, Iggy.
That is correct.
Iggy Pup.
Hello,
Iggy Pup.
Iggy Pup himself.
They are both joining us. John, how are you doing? The brewery is great. You know, we're actually doing our first outdoor episode because the patio and the weather is just beautiful.
It is.
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for having me. And yes, it feels amazing out here.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this week. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of this weather right now. You wake up in the morning, you can go outside with a hoodie and a pair of shorts. It feels right.
Absolutely. Yeah, every time the dog and I go out in the morning, that's exactly what I'm wearing. It's perfect, comfortable. Love it.
And we definitely have, and Lower Left has some beers that are starting to cater to that weather calming down, which we're definitely going to get into. John, I want to throw it to you. What would you say, you do specifically with Lower Left, and talk to us just a little bit about your story with the brewery.
Okay, well, this is actually the first brewery job that I have ever had here at Lower Left. Obviously they didn't hire me as the general manager. I was hired a couple months before we opened. So we opened in August of 19, so I was hired maybe late June, early July of 19 as a part-time bartender, and, was working other jobs part-time in the restaurant industry at that time, and, worked my way up. COVID happened. We lost a few people. I stuck around. I, feel like I earned their trust and taken on a lot of other responsibilities over the year besides just beer tending. I clean our tap lines every 2 weeks. I wash all our dirty kegs. I am in charge of all of our canning now. So we have a little small one-head can filler. So, we do our own packaging. I run that machine. And Casey, our owner, is amazing. She does the labelers. So
that's cool.
I do a little bit of everything around here.
Yeah. You put a whole
I
new
help.
meaning.
I help make the beer occasionally. I can take no credit for the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not involved creatively, but I am an extra pair of hands on brew day sometimes. So
Okay.
that's nice as well.
That's a whole new meaning to a bud tender. No, not a bud tender.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Hey. That could be interesting.
A beer tender.
We could discuss that as well. Maybe that's a separate podcast.
Yeah. And that's what we call a jack of all trades, ladies and gentlemen.
I might like that.
I am skilled, I will say.
That's our spin-off series,
Love it.
What would you say, this is not the first time we've been in Low-So, and I'm sure everybody knows that's listening to this podcast. I'm sure you do too. Charlotte's continuously growing. So what would you say makes Lower Left unique and goes with that Charlotte community?
Well, I think certainly for this neighborhood, we're very unique. I remember years ago when we first opened, someone had asked me, well, how do you guys intend to compete with, your Old Mex and your Yanceys, which are right around the corner from us? And I, kind of told them, well, we're not competing with that. We offer something different. We're smaller, we're more intimate. You come in, you're going to see the same people behind the bar. We have 3 people that work the bar and 1 part-time person on the weekend. So, you're going to see the same people over and over again. A lot of the same regulars come in here a lot. So it's a smaller, more intimate feel than some of the bigger places, So I think a lot of people, if you're looking for that, we are the place to come. I think our beer sets us apart as well. I mean, we have a lot of very unique offerings.
You have some very unique
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Off the ones I sampled right away when I got. Oh, and I sampled.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
that's
so
yeah,
good.
We always have no problem giving samples here, man.
Yeah,
we want people to find the right beer, and we want people to enjoy it. So.
Yeah, thoroughly impressed with the ideas and the execution. I saw the one with like the smoked bacon.
Oh,
and then the
what?
Porter, yeah.
A smoked bacon porter?
Yeah, so
Bacon
Wow.
maple porter.
yeah.
Bacon maple porter, the lemon meringue, the sweet potato pie. I mean,
Before we leave,
A
I'm
lot
sampling
of-
that. I can
yeah,
tell you that.
100%.
Sample every one of them. I mean, there's
Jesus.
18 beers on tap right now, so sample each one if you want.
And each one is
Yeah.
very unique. When I looked at them, it's really cool. So we got to look at. I mean, if you can just see here, our audience, look at the colors of our flights. That is some cool colors.
yeah, it's looking good. So I think like the one thing we always like to know when we do these podcasts is like, okay, the name. Where did the name come from? I can think of a lot of things about Lower Left.
Mhm.
Where that might,
And the first thing I'm thinking of is a little bit something down south, but
a little back pain.
Lower left back pain.
Well, it's funny when you Google lower left. That's the first thing that pops up. It's like lower left abdominal pain or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh.
lower left brewing. But
Believe
no, I
me,
mean, yeah.
I've contributed to that
Yeah.
Google
Hey,
search.
hey,
Is that a future beer title?
no.
The abdominal pain.
The abdominal pain. Yeah.
See,
No,
I'm
yeah.
thinking you guys were reading books the wrong way the whole time. You didn't
Yeah,
start
just
top left and work your
top
way to
left,
bottom
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You're starting
Well,
fucking lower
yeah.
left, and I don't know where you ended up with that.
Yeah, no, so the name is actually just purely geographical. So if you're imagine you're looking at like a map of Charlotte. We're in, as we mentioned earlier, we're in Loso. So we're in the lower left part of Loso. So it just, it rolled off the tongue. I think the owners liked the alliteration, the logo with the 2 L's forming an arrow. So,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool.
So Loso is what? So is
lower south end. It's
South
it's
end,
a
okay.
bit. It's a bit of a stretch,
Yeah.
but I'll go with it because that's what people are calling this area.
Are you
know?
guys on the border to that? Like,
I
where
think,
does it end?
I think we're it. I think we are where it
Yeah,
ends.
anything
Okay.
more is like
Yeah.
not South End
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I
I
think
got
we're
you.
at the,
It's like
we're at
Myers
the
Park.
very, very bottom end of it.
Gotcha.
Very
Yeah.
lower left end of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See,
To
what,
be
see, what,
precise.
see what we did there?
It's all coming together,
Oh, absolutely.
So a game we like to play on this podcast quite often, and it's really a fun one we brought back last week.
Love it.
It's called Overrated, Properly Rated, or Underrated.
Okay.
Okay, and I said that in a weird order.
Yeah. Look at
But-
Dan.
You
He's
did.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
What are we playing here?
Yeah, you'll never sneak anything by this.
I didn't quite like that.
Yeah.
So overrated, properly rated, underrated.
Yeah, there we go.
It's catching
Now
on.
that sounds right.
That is right there.
It's literally the same exact way I said it.
I think it is.
He made it sound better if you.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. How's that
What can I
possible, Drew?
I don't know, but first one we have is mozzarella sticks with marinara sauce.
Yeah, Gus goes first.
I think. I'm going to say properly rated. I don't want to say they're the greatest thing in the world, and I haven't had them in a while. But they're always good. They always go with beer. So if you're drinking and you
Yeah.
want something full of fat, it's a little crunchy. It's I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'd say properly rated. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's average.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'd say average.
I agree. If properly rated, it doesn't ever miss.
Right.
I don't think you can
Right.
really miss with
Right.
that.
It'd be
Who
hard
doesn't
to
love
miss.
fried fucking
Right,
cheese, right? And you're
Yeah.
drinking, dude. At anything fried sounds good when you're wasted. So
Absolutely.
I agree, but it's nothing special. Properly rated,
that's
like
kind of my
that.
thoughts. Average, right?
yeah.
Daniel?
I'm gonna have to go with overrated underrated. Sorry, not overrated. Underrated because my girlfriend got me into these mozzarella sticks, and they're good. And that's her thing. She loves mozzarella sticks, and for the past year or two, I've been kind of chowing down on some of them. Whenever she orders them, I'll be like, yeah, you give me a couple of those.
So would you pick that over a lot of other things on an appetizer menu if you go to a bar?
Oh man,
You
it
order
depends.
those over wings or something
Uh,
like that. Like
Yeah,
pork-
what does it
pork
rank
skins?
against wings?
yeah.
Potato
Pork
skins.
skin.
Pork skins.
I meant
What?
potato
Really?
skins.
Dan,
Potato skins.
you seem like the guy just gets loaded potatoes as an appetizer.
You know what? There's a lot of great appetizers out there, but no, it's I think it's still a little.
Yeah, I think taste bud per price, it's very, very fair.
Yeah.
Right? If you're getting wings, of course a wing's going to taste better than a mozzarella stick.
Yeah.
Price
But you're
per
also
taste
paying
bud.
like $6 or $7 more.
I
true.
see.
Very
Yeah.
Well, especially
A
the price of chicken
PTB,
these days.
price
I mean,
per
let's be
taste
real.
bud.
Yeah, a PPT.
So
price per
we've been
taste
trying
bud.
to make that a metric for the longest time. Price per taste bud.
Well, I mean, you should have it. You go to the grocery store, you see the different sizes of container
Right.
or something, and it
Yeah.
tells you the price per volume or something.
Yeah, by
right?
ounce
So-
or
right,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what value you're getting.
But who
so-
would be the governing
But how do you-
body
yeah.
that dictates the
The
price per
FDA,
taste bud?
the FDA needs to do this.
I mean,
I'm putting a
why
petition
don't you guys
together.
do it? You
Yes.
could just start a
Sign
thing and
me
taste
up.
all the food and
That's what
declare
we'll
what
start
y'all
doing.
think it is.
Could
I
you
mean,
imagine
that could
if
be
this
y'all's thing.
podcast was an official governing body of food?
man.
A sub-
I would be
that
good
would
at
be a
this,
major
though.
pivot, but I think y'all could pull it off.
Yeah.
I think we do have the unique skill set to do that. Like,
Yeah.
we've tried a lot of food.
Oh, my taste buds
every
are
country.
popping.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
back on track with the sticks, Dan. What do you think?
With the sticks.
Overrated. I don't know. Like they're, they can be good sometimes, but you might go to a place where the mozzarella sticks are just not good. The the marinara sauce is not great, and it's not the first thing I ever order whenever I see appetizers. It's kind of like the last resort. You
Yeah.
ask for, oh, does this appetizer come with that? It's like, no. All right, well, I guess I'll do the mozzarella sticks.
I will say it very rarely is phenomenal. I honestly don't think. I think 8 out of 10 times it's probably below average, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But in terms of other appetizers on the list, right? I really think the only thing that you would definitely most of the time pick over that would be wings. Honestly, I don't think you would pick. Would you pick nachos over it? Because nachos can be pretty average too.
Spinach artichoke.
And I'm
dip?
not gonna lie, I'd pick mozzarella sticks over
Hush puppies?
nachos.
They're never outstanding, but they're always adequate.
Yeah, adequate.
You know what you're getting.
I
with
guess
them,
for
I
me
think.
though, I'm gonna be different. I'm going to say underrated just because if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said overrated. I do think they are becoming extinct on classic menus, especially around Charlotte where the food culture is very diverse,
Wow.
right? If you did a good mozzarella stick, I would say it's probably underrated. For
I
the
agree.
For the price per taste bud.
You are predicting
100%.
the,
The
mass
PPTB.
extinction of mozzarella sticks. Oh my god!
You got the T-Rex and the
They're
mozzarella
gonna put
stick
it in
right there.
textbooks in high school. It's like, yeah, this used to be in social
Mozzarella stick
studies.
declared extinct.
Yeah.
2022.
I can see that happening. And yeah, our viewers, please DM us the best mozzarella stick place in Charlotte or in North Carolina, please.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
okay, moving on. I don't think
Interesting
anybody in
request.
Charlotte has spent 5 minutes on a podcast for mozzarella sticks, but we did it.
Yeah,
did.
hell yeah.
All right, so let's roll through these pretty quick. Next one we talked about Game of Thrones. It's a good show. Some other good shows on the TV these days. What about Squid Games? Did you guys ever watch
Oh,
Squid
I
Games?
loved it. Did you watch it? John?
I did not, so
Okay.
I
Oh.
cannot fairly rate it. So I will abstain from this one.
Okay, I will
Okay.
say, fucking recommend. That shit is
so
awesome.
However, it looks amazing. I know the guy won like an Emmy or something
Yeah.
for it. So like,
Yep.
I mean, it's something I will watch. And that's the great thing about Netflix. It's always going to be there.
I might be
So-
wrong on this, but he might be the first. It might be the first actor to win an Emmy for a non-English speaking show or something. I think.
What did Parasite win awards for?
I think it
Oh,
won.
did they win
I think
Emmys
it
or
won
all-
Academy Awards. Right?
Academy
Oh, it was
Awards.
Academy, 'cause they
'Cause I think
won a
Emmys
lot
are
of
Emmys are
Academy
TV
I
awards.
saw
yes,
like
I
a
think.
crazy stat. I think
Movie
that's
versus
it, but
TV.
Yeah.
hey, whoever's watching, fact check me. I definitely could be wrong, but they a crazy like statistic.
No, I
you
mean
just
that sounds believable. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't.
it was
I'd
so
be hard
good.
pressed to think of any other non-English speaking
Yeah.
actor
Yeah.
winning an Emmy.
For me, I would say properly rated. I got on the train. I wouldn't say late, but like after the first month of it coming out. And so when people hyped it up, I checked it out. It was pretty good. I would say. I mean, it had me hooked. So
Yeah.
it did the job, right?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
think? Dan?
I'm there with you. Watch the series. It's on Netflix. Like, if it was an underrated thing, they would have had it on Netflix, and then I wouldn't have been able to watch it again. So then, whenever it came back, I'd be really excited. Now it's like, well, I don't really need to see it anymore. It's not one of those episodes or series for me. Properly rated.
Okay. I'm gonna say severely underrated. I thought
Severely.
it was a great show, and I mean, it obviously got
In
an
this
Emmy.
economy?
It obviously the guy won an Emmy, so it can't be that underrated. But because I just think like obviously we're inclined in our society, we love English speaking shows because why not, right? We speak English, right? That show was so fucking good. It didn't even need subtitles. I could have listened to the whole thing in Korean. I think it would have been one of the best shows I've ever watched. It's a top 10 show for me. And the way this last episode ended, I am watching season 2. I can't wait.
You also
great
make
analysis.
grilled
It's
cheese
so
within
good.
a waffle.
Yeah, I want to say I can't wait for season 2 either, and I think it's an underrated show too.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of people need to watch. It's different, you know. You're getting a movie from another country, and I think that I think that's something good for us to watch, Americans.
It is. So, John, if you take anything from this, it's 1, we're a shitty podcast, and 2, you should watch Squid Games.
Watch yes. Well, 2 for sure. I don't know about number 1. TBD on that. TBD on that.
You're too kind.
All
You're
right,
too
all right.
kind.
I mean, I'm involved now. It can't be that shitty again.
He's like, my name is on this fucking
Yeah,
thing.
sure. It's like I have a lot
I
at
mean, the
stake
dog
here.
is here too. We can get him to bark later if we need to.
Iggy
Still
Pup.
keeping watch.
Can you go get us some mozzarella sticks?
Iggy, fetch. He's
All right,
not
last
moving.
one here for overrated, underrated, properly rated. We have, do you guys like national parks?
I
Oh.
do.
I mean, you like nature in general?
One of my favorite things.
Okay, good. So, Daniel, you can go first. on
Big
this one.
nature guy.
I am.
The Grand Canyon.
Yep. Been there.
Yo, been
I've
there.
I've been there.
Seen it.
Give me your status on
Yeah,
that.
is it overrated, underrated, properly?
The overrated, underrated. Okay, I didn't know that. You just like ended it on there. I think that is. Ooh.
Wow, that tone change. You guys, yeah.
I think it's properly rated. No, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say underrated. You don't want to fuck with the Grand Canyon, okay? You don't want to fuck with that thing. I've actually had someone.
What
in my-
exactly do you mean by that?
Okay,
Well,
this is what I mean
don't
by
take
this.
I
it
mean, like,
lightly.
people die out there every
I was
year.
gonna say that.
like,
I actually
okay.
had
Okay.
someone in my family get lost in Grand Canyon and was never found.
Ooh, that's sad.
Yep. In my family.
Florian, how about you?
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's underrated.
So I'm going to say underrated too. I've been there. If you don't realize the size of that motherfucker. Okay, so 2 things. I have been to it. I've seen it face to face. Like I've seen it. I've even like looked over the edge and I've seen how deep it goes. I mean, it's thousands of feet. Like it goes so deep. It used to be a river. Okay?
Yeah, it used to be.
And then I've flown over it. I took a business trip from Charlotte to Phoenix. You fly over the Grand Canyon, and it just so happened that I had a window seat, and I don't sleep on planes. I'm awake for the whole fucking thing. I can't sleep on it, and there was no clouds in the sky. I saw the Grand Canyon from sky view.
Okay.
That is ridiculous how big that is. Like it is. If you fill that thing up with water, you'll die before you see the bottom. It's impossible. So it's so underrated. It's crazy.
John?
Never been, but have heard things like that. It is massively overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of have to say underrated because I've heard it's one of those things you see it and it's like, I mean, not life changing per se, but it just you don't realize, like you said, how massive that fucking thing is. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. So I would have to say underrated. It's definitely on my bucket list of places I want to see.
Can I say one more thing? I drove through it. And it was 113 degrees at one point.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's Arizona,
113.
little Mesa Verde weather.
Yep.
You know.
But
Dan?
it's a
Me?
dry heat, right?
Overrated.
Yeah, right.
That's what
So
they
it's
always
not
say.
bad.
That's what they always say about the heat out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
a dry heat.
Perhaps.
Overrated. It's a big hole.
Oh, Dan.
Wow.
That's too
Hot take
sim-
express. Here
Listen, I'm
we
gonna
go.
put Dan. I'm gonna put you in that big hole.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, I
It's a
guarantee
big
you.
hole.
Yeah.
Guarantee you change your mind.
yeah. How's that
Put
for
money on it.
fantasy football
Yeah.
losing thing? You go, we put you right in the
In the
fucking
crate.
in
Yeah,
the
there it is.
center
Yeah,
of it. And
you
you have to
lose it.
climb your way
I
out.
feel like some animal would eat
That would
you
be
if
a
the
massive
They
punishment.
have
fall in.
mountain lions down there.
Yeah,
Some of them will eat.
Bears.
You're done.
probably, I'm
Canyon
sure. I don't
lions?
even know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say properly rated just because, like, I don't know, like I think that's one of the most common landmarks that identifies the United States, and it proves, it shows out. So I'm gonna go properly rated. And that's all for today on that. Now, transitioning here, John, you're a football fan, right?
Yes, I am.
And your favorite team is the
Carolina Panthers.
Okay, if you can make one change right now for the Panthers, besides head coach and quarterback, if you could have any player in the NFL besides head coach or
man,
quarterback,
that's a good question.
who would you pick?
Oh, I know what I would pick.
You know,
That is a great question.
I like the question, and you know, I hate to say this guy because he was fortunately involved in a car accident earlier today. But like Myles Garrett, he's a hell of a pass rusher, man. Like, or even he was in a single car accident today. I think he was hospitalized, but I think he was released. I mean, I don't know anything other than that. I think he's fine, but like he destroyed us in week 1. I mean, granted, he was going against Ike Ekwonu, rookie left tackle in his first start.
Oh, yeah.
But
Talk about a challenge.
I mean, having a guy like that who could help, pair him with Brian Burns. I think we're missing Hassan Reddick from last year, who got us I don't know, maybe 9.5, 10 sacks. So somebody to help get after the quarterback, I think, would be good. So I'd go for Myles Garrett. But
I
there's
really
obviously some
respect
other
that.
guys that I think could help out a lot too.
I think for the Panthers, I'd have to go offensive player. Not somebody like I know their defense is good. It really is. It's just
It's what won them the game on Sunday.
Baker.
Literally, they
like,
scored the touchdown.
Yeah, yeah, they
And then
did
one,
it.
and then one play to the guy they traded for the Jaguars for, like in preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like they need an offensive player. Maybe a Cooper Kupp who doesn't run long routes because DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are great, but they run those longer routes. They're not doing the Cooper Kupp, little drag routes or out routes and everything.
Yeah.
That's what Baker needs because he doesn't have to wait and they don't have time to get their hands at to bat the ball.
Well,
I mean,
Tyreek.
like Tyreek, or hell, a competent tight end would be phenomenal. Think about that.
That's true, too.
We haven't had one since Greg Olsen left, right?
it's the big body, someone that can bring the
just
pass
essentially-
game in the middle of the field.
Just box out whoever's guarding you, turn around and catch the pass.
Yeah, so one number grade right now. I don't think we expected Baker to come in there and be like the superstar, right? I don't think anybody realistically could expect that. But if you were to give a 1 through 10 grade to Baker Mayfield right now, what are you giving him?
And I'm a fan, so I'm always going to be optimistic. But I'll probably say he's done about 4.
Okay.
4 out of 10.
I was going to say 4.5.
Below average, for
I think
sure.
that's so realistic.
Fat one.
A 1?
Yeah.
What about you?
Fat
No,
one.
I talk shit
Only
about
one
Baker
interception
'cause
so far, I think. That's a big deal.
I
think.
don't like Baker at all. Okay.
Yeah, you've made that
But
public.
we went to the Panthers game on Sunday. We were in the nosebleeds, but honestly, I couldn't pick a better seat to kind of see Baker's vision in the field because up there, you can really see what he's trying to look at.
Yeah.
He threw into no man's land. He threw into
Oh
double
my
coverage
gosh.
left and right. But I will say it could be a lot worse if they had a worse quarterback than him. I'm going to give him a 4 like you said. I do think a 4 is appropriate.
I like that analysis, Daniel.
I'm going to give him a 3.
Okay.
And,
Can't argue with that.
I just, he wasn't throwing the – there was just some really, really bad throws when I saw
We saw him throw into double coverage like 3 times.
Some
Like
bad
no
throws.
business throwing there. Like
Right.
linebackers could have had interceptions. Defensive linemen could have had interceptions. He threw the corners. I mean, left and right. He's so lucky he didn't have 3 picks. I'm not going to lie.
I agree. And I think, but he's not the only problem with the Panthers right now.
No,
I think
by
we
far
can
not.
all agree with
well,
that.
and so if I had to pick a player, I think they need a left tackle. You need someone to pick to protect his blind side.
But they just drafted a guy at like
yeah,
6,
well-
or would they draft 10th?
6th, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
7th,
it's
something like that.
clearly not helping. I mean, he's being pressured left and right, and that's why he's throwing so many close interceptions. Luckily, they haven't been interceptions, but he's throwing into double coverage. Like, has no business
is.
throwing there. He's getting pressured all the time.
He is, and if you can throw in double coverage, there is a receiver that might make it out of it. Okay, and it's someone we talk about on this podcast a lot, Tyreek Hill. John, would you say Tyreek Hill is the most unique skill set in the NFL?
I have to say I do love Tyreek. He's on my fantasy team, so he led me to victory last week when he had 190 yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's, I think a lot of us had, I did at least. I had questions. I didn't know if he'd be as productive in Miami as he was in the Kansas City offense. But and granted, we're only 3 weeks in, but so far it's looking very good. You know. So yeah, I think his skill set he's one of the most dangerous guys. I mean, you know, you've all seen that meme of like Mahomes throwing the ball back, and it's like, fuck it, Tyreek down there somewhere. Right? Those things, like, but I mean, there's a reason that's a meme because it's kind of true. You know, fuck it, he's down there somewhere, he'll catch it. You know,
Tyreek Hill's like pizza, man. It's hard to mess up pizza. Even the worst pizza is edible.
Exactly.
You know?
Wow.
So
I like that.
Yeah.
What a comp right
I
there.
really like that.
yeah, comparing a dude to pizza, I like
And
that.
it's always available, you know.
Yeah.
You pretty much
Yeah.
get it anytime you want.
Exactly. He's always open. You know?
Hell, if you're in New York City 24/7, I mean, that dude's open for business.
I like that. I didn't even think of that. Always
it's
open.
always open,
Always
man.
open.
Yeah.
Pizza's always open.
It is. Doors are always open.
That's what he should instead of cheetah. It should
Domino's.
be pizza man.
Pizza man. Yeah.
The cheetah pizza.
Yeah, instead of Matt Stafford in those horrible Little Caesars commercials, maybe get Tyreek in there. you know?
Oh,
Yeah, Tyreek. Or
Pizza.
Dude, if
yeah, we
only
got a
we-
Matt Stafford fan right here.
I have nothing against Matt Stafford. That's just a bad commercial.
Yeah.
I prefer his commercial with Lily. That was much better.
So
one.
you're saying-
Yeah.
you're
And I know who you talking about.
What do you mean?
And I ain't talking pad.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Lily pad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking
I
of
get
the speaking on the Panthers here, I know we're only 3 games in.
Yes, we are, Dan.
You're good
Okay.
at counting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
John,
Dan.
what
Yeah.
would
That is
you
a fact.
Yeah, jeez. What would you say probably is the record prediction for the rest of the year, and who right now is the MVP on the Panthers?
You know, it's going to be a weird choice, but I would say Frankie Louvu has been my MVP to this
Who
point.
is that?
He's a linebacker. He's the guy that forced the fumble on Kamara the other day. So he's just been all over the field. He's been, I mean, I'm not comparing him to Thomas Davis or Luke Kuechly, obviously, but he's been kind of playing that role on the defense. He's been flying all over the place. He's been playing really well. So I'll just, you know, kind of a dark horse candidate for that. But the prediction for the rest of the season, I'm not going to lie, guys. It's not good, I don't think, you know. And you know, before the season, I was optimistic. I thought maybe we could win 8-9 games, slide into the playoffs somewhere. But after we opened so flat against these two teams that, frankly, I think we're a lot better than.
Yes.
Yeah. But
it's kind of depressing.
yeah, so, you know, maybe what is it? It's weird. It's a 17-game season now, so I'm trying to do the math in my head. Maybe I think we might finish 6-11 or something like that.
Ooh.
So, I mean,
I kind of feel like that might be worst
but
case.
that would be what, 5 more wins and 9 more losses, though. So I think that's probably about right. Winning 1 out of every 2 games from here on out.
And we had a few.
Yeah, that might be good actually. That's good case scenario. But then the problem is, where does that leave us in terms of draft pick, though? You know, I'm like, where are we picking? Like, you know,
And that's what we're gonna. That's what we're gonna be
that's
leaving
the
it
debate,
at because.
you know, but
I
who are
think
we tanking for? Is there a great QB
But
prospect?
Matt Rule is gone.
Yeah,
In that scenario,
there is
Matt
actually.
Rule is gone.
That would be good.
Yeah.
We need that to happen.
That's what I was
think.
going to
need that
ask
to
you.
happen.
How do you feel about that?
I was all for giving him his time, but we're in year 3 now. I feel like the NFL is a league that's built to have quick turnarounds. You know, like
Very
you
much
see
so.
McDaniel.
You
Yeah.
see teams all the time go from last place in their division to playoff teams to division winners. You know, it happens constantly. Yeah, look at you guys. Congratulations on who's the Eagles fan? One of you guys, right?
Right here,
You
baby.
guys look
Eagles
amazing this year.
Eagles,
dude.
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah, Dolphins, exactly. You guys
I
are
mean-
amazing. And the thing is, the NFL is designed for that because it's
Yeah.
meant to be fun and competitive. So if you can't turn your team around,
That says
clearly this
something,
is not
yes.
working.
and
you know.
and it does say something to both these teams have running quarterbacks too that also can throw, that also can do a little bit of everything. That is the new generation.
It's a
Well, you need-
prerequisite, and Tom Brady and Matt Stafford are the only exceptions.
Well, yeah, they're
in the
kind of
NFL
like
Yes.
they're kind of
right
like your
now.
dinosaurs,
100%,
you know.
yeah.
Well, and like
Well, and
I
Aaron
feel like
Rodgers.
But Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers can move.
I feel like both
He
the
can
coaches
move.
are
He can.
younger guys
He's
too. Now, I
faster
don't-
than both those
right.
guys.
I don't know how old Rule is, but I feel like the coaches, McDaniel and Sirianni, are both younger guys as
Yeah.
well.
Oh.
Younger, offensive-minded guys.
Early 30s, mid 30s.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they're younger than I am. Then you know, but like, yeah. So, and I'm not saying we have to have a young guy coach. I mean, that's kind of like the trendy thing. You got McVay,
Yeah.
Kingsbury, whatever the hell his
Oh
name
God,
is.
well,
he's,
he's
so
not.
he's overrated.
But he is, of course. But he's got the job, though. You know.
Mhm.
But like, look at the success Sirianni and McDaniel are having.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, with a few rare exceptions, guys from college don't really pan out. I mean, Nick Saban couldn't
sure.
win in the NFL.
Hey,
like, why the
perfect.
hell do we think Matt Rule can do it? you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I 100%
I
agree.
mean, like Pete Carroll succeeded, and Jimmy Johnson succeeded when he came across, but like very few other examples. of guys
I
have
agree
done
with you,
this,
John, and I think that's a
you know?
lot of thing. What you're saying is what like the mainstream media doesn't want to say, right?
Yeah.
ESPN and NFL aren't going to say, "Oh, this is a league where you can win right away.
Yeah.
You have to fire your guy. They're not going to say that, but it's
Yeah.
so true. Like, you can win in your first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Absolutely.
in his second or third year, the coach of Zach Taylor for the Bengals took him to the Super
Took him to
Bowl.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
McVay took his team to the Super Bowl in his first or second or
yeah.
third. I mean, they got
Second year.
Doug
beat by, they got
Peterson.
beat by the Patriots, but still, I mean,
Second
he
year.
gained experience and won it last year.
Exactly.
So yeah, Doug Peterson was, first
2
or
years?
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and instead
Yeah.
of Sean McVay, Doug Peterson actually won it in his second year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Redemption.
And hey, like the
Redemption.
Jags are maybe looking kind of good this year. You never know,
Yeah.
man. I mean, at least I felt so
That's what I
bad
was
for
saying.
Trevor Lawrence, man. He got the shaft last
He
year.
did.
He had not even having.
Shaft.
Well, I mean, that good. He had a
Yeah, he
freaking
did.
like, I don't know what you call Urban Meyer. He's I don't
Yeah.
know.
A psychopath?
I was going to say sociopath, but yeah, maybe
know what's
psychopath.
funny?
Something path.
Is that
of course.
Fox
Yeah.
Sports hired that sociopath right
I
back
know,
on
they
as
did.
the
I
college
know,
football
dude.
analyst?
It's incredible.
Dude, they
It
were
is,
licking their
you know.
lips the whole
Yeah, they
offseason.
were like, bring it on, crazy.
The sports coaching world is the only place where you can fail upwards. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
He's a skid mark on the underpants of society.
Yes, that is a lovely way to put it. I
Even
love
SpongeBob
that.
would not wear him. Anyways, okay, moving on here. A lot of good stuff. I'm
Yeah.
loving this NFL talk. So one thing I did want to get into, though, is you play fantasy football, right?
I do.
All right, so imagine you're playing fantasy football, but instead of drafting football players, you're drafting fast food restaurants.
Okay.
Who would be your number one overall pick for a
Ooh.
fantasy football?
Oh man.
Fantasy fast food.
Quick
Fantasy
thing,
fast
This could
food.
be. This is nationwide. It's not regional, right?
Oh, so I don't
Nationwide.
have to, I don't have to choose anything around here. Now, okay, with that caveat, I am a local kid, so I grew up 2.5
That's cool.
miles from where we're
That's
sitting
cool.
here
So
in
you're gonna say
Charlotte, North
Bojangles?
Carolina. So of course, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna.
Oh my
Bojangles,
God.
dude. I
What?
can't not go with Bojangles as number
Oh,
one.
That's fair.
I'm a Charlotte native. I mean, it's amazing. It's like I don't ever eat KFC. People are like KFC this, Popeyes that. I'm like, no, it's Bojangles.
I respect.
all day,
I respect the
every
loyalty.
day.
Daniel, second
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah, he has
overall.
something to say
All right,
about
let
that.
me say something real quick because
say yeah.
I went to KFC the other day. I will never go back.
I had that KFC that he.
I
bought.
will never go back. Bojangles all the way, and it's because I do live out in the country, and this Bojangles, they know
It's-
what they're doing.
it's
It's the
Yeah.
best
ridiculous.
freaking Bojangles I've ever been to in my life. I went to that KFC. It is so terrible. KFC, you owe me money. Okay, you literally not only do you owe me a free meal, I want my money back. I want the free meal, and then I want a little bit more money on top of that. Okay, Bojangles is the shit now, but number one, Chick-fil-A all day, every
Okay.
day.
The
I mean,
Bojangles?
everyone's
That's a
gonna
good
win
choice,
across the
too.
board
That's
there.
a good draft.
I
The
like that one.
Bojangles around our house, the bowl rounds that these people produce on
Uh-huh.
Saturday morning are unlike anything I've
Really?
ever had.
Yeah.
The best fast food hash browns in the fucking game.
I think
In
so.
the game.
thickness level is
It
outrageous.
is
thick.
ridiculous.
They fit.
Women in
dude.
Greece.
Florian, with the third overall pick in the fast food fantasy draft,
Fuck.
who are you having?
I don't know. I don't want to be that guy,
Be
but
that guy.
Taco Bell, man.
Oh,
You are such
I like that.
Come
guy.
on.
mean,
I
it's-
like
it's-
that guy.
Taco Bell.
It's open late.
it-
You're on your way home.
It hits
everything's
every fucking
closed.
spot. Doesn't matter what's on the menu. you finna eat. It's so good.
Facts on facts.
It's so good.
What do I have? The fourth?
You had the fourth
Fourth
overall.
overall pick? Cookout. I
That
mean,
is an
there
excellent
are
choice.
so many
I like that.
options
I like
there.
that.
You get a bang for your buck with that tray. They have good shakes, but let me tell you, they got to stop making them so thick. And stop giving me a straw. Just give me a spoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. With
Okay,
that.
I
Keep
agree
them
with
as
that.
thick. Just don't give me the straw.
you're gonna
But
choke if you
wanna
get
eat
an
it with a
M&M.
spoon.
I will say I've only had Cookout twice in the last, say, 4 years, right? One was, it was a while ago. And I always get the same thing. I get a tray, but instead of a drink, I get a shake. One of those cheesecake shakes. And they used to throw in a whole fucking slice of cheesecake in there, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, you throw me the spoon. The last one I had, you might as well give me the biggest fucking straw this side of the Mississippi. It was so watery. I'm like, bro, what happened to your quality? There used to be
Yeah.
a cheesecake in here. Now it's just soft serve ice cream, and it's like water. Cookout disappointed me.
Funny
bro.
visual here when you say that. I'm thinking of like a late '90s cartoon where the dog's eating the ham bone, like it's going down his
Yeah.
neck, and you see the whole picture like coming. And that's you drinking a Cookout cheesecake.
Dude,
milkshake.
if it was with the whole slice of cheesecake, there'd be an imprint of there'd be a triangle right here in the old gullet. You know?
yeah, it
Oh,
would be.
Pelican.
Dude, it's so good, man. They had it. It was
They
amazing.
do. That's a great fourth pick. All right, I'm gonna go for the fifth pick. I might get some heat for the Arby's. I mean, they have a unique variety
Wow. Look
and
at
a
Daniel.
lot of meats.
Y'all
Okay.
not gonna lie.
Wow, you like the meats. I know you do, Drew.
Yes,
hey,
I
they
do.
have the meats. Okay.
They got the
They're
meats.
packing.
Bum. And since I get 5th pick, I also get 6th pick. We're going to go back around for a second round.
We're doing snake
Snake
draft.
draft.
Snake action. Guys, I mean, Sonic, such a diverse menu. Come
That
on.
is
You
good.
can get your mozzarella sticks, your hot dogs, your hamburgers, your cheese, and your milkshakes. So
You
that's
get the
my
cheese.
pick. You get the cheese. Dan, what would you pick? Second round, second pick. Fast
Second
food.
round, second pick. I wanted to take Chick-fil-A with Daniel's pick, but unfortunately, what's going to happen? I'm going to go Popeyes. I like Popeyes. I think they have a good sandwich. Florian and I waited an hour in line whenever that stuff came out.
You remember that year? Was
Yes,
that 2020?
It was madness.
When they
That was.
dropped their sandwich, we waited, and it was an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Oh, we waited
They-
in line for an hour and a half.
They have good stuff there. They have good chicken strips. I just think on a Sunday, if you can't get Chick-fil-A, I like Popeyes quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what my answer is.
I
I
hope you
got
don't
this
say
shit a lot within the last year. Best fast food burger in the game, Wendy's Baconator.
Wendy's.
Oh,
that's a
and
sleeper.
y'all can get
That's a
fucked
good
if you don't
sleeper.
like
Yeah.
it because that is the best burger in the game.
I'm going to disagree with you. just so you
Triple
know.
stack with extra bacon. It's crunchy. It's meaty. Dude, that thing is so good. It's so good.
I think I know something better.
Yeah, you tell me.
In-N-Out Burger.
Ooh.
Well,
okay.
Fast food, better price, better burger. That's all I have
It
to
has
say.
a drive-through window. It counts.
I don't have
Yeah.
to say anything else. Better burgers, better service, better price.
I do like
What are
that
you?
you
What are
can
you, Papa John's?
I mean,
Isn't that the Papa John slogan?
is it?
better service,
Better-
better
Sounds
price,
Better
Papa
pizza,
John's.
better
Papa
people.
John's.
Papa John's.
In-N-Out might as well be Papa
No,
John's.
Daniel, that's a
Well, not
great
really,
pick.
but-
I respect the thought there.
Yeah.
And John, with the last pick in the fast food draft of 2022, what restaurant are you choosing?
I'm going to go to a place that sadly is not available around here unless you're in the frozen aisle at the grocery store.
Oh,
But
I know
it's
where
a
you're
place
going.
that's going available mostly in the Midwest and other folks. It is White Castle.
Yeah!
It is White Castle for
That's
the
a
win.
good one.
Gotta
That's
have
a
the
good one.
sliders. They are amazing.
Yep.
Last time I stopped there, I was in Missouri, I think, maybe on the outskirts of St. Louis. But yeah, it was White Castle's wonderful.
Respect.
Me and these two jabronis here in high school, the summer after senior year, we drove 7 hours to Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, that's the
to
closest
get
one.
White
That's the closest one to
Castle.
here. Yeah.
And we got fucking merch from them. They gave us cardboard
Beautiful.
suitcases. We got like
Yes.
30 burgers.
Each. Yeah.
We got
Yeah, you got
I
the
think,
box.
I think
yeah.
we got shirts. They gave it. I was like, we drove here 7 hours to eat these fucking burgers, and it wasn't even a standalone White Castle. It shared a
It was a
gas
gas
station.
station.
I know.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even
Yeah.
it wasn't even a
Hey,
standalone.
but at least you could fill up before you went home.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
You got that going
I
for
think we
you.
did.
And it's funny because I only knew White Castle from Harold and
From
Kumar,
the movie, yeah.
and I was obsessed with it. I'm like,
We gotta
and
go.
like those guys were
we
role
may or
models,
may
what
not
can you
have partaken in some cannabis on the way there, so we
probably-
were
course you did.
primed, ready to go for
That
that
helped.
meal.
Absolutely.
It was
So
ridiculous.
you'd
Y'all
say
were a
you saw your
driving dollar
bud tender
sign.
before then I guess.
There we
Bud
go.
Bud tender.
Yeah,
Yes.
you saw
Yeah.
your bud tender before.
Yeah, yeah.
We did,
Alright,
we
very
did.
cool, very cool.
Hey, so as with any ranking or draft, there's some honorable mention. I will say, and anybody can add to this, I'm surprised no one picked Burger King.
You're
Disgusting.
surprised?
You're surprised?
You're surprised?
McDonald's. I'm surprised
Oh,
over
yeah.
Burger
Everybody
King.
picked McDonald's.
You're not even. You're gonna say Burger
Yeah.
King. We didn't even mention McDonald's. I think
You're
that
right.
McDonald's
You're
might come
right.
after you.
Yeah.
You better be watching.
Yeah,
you better be
Burger
watching.
King.
Facts,
Oh,
facts.
Man.
I mean, any other popular ones we're missing here?
I would
That
say.
could've-
I mean, Chick-fil-A that we left that out.
No,
Or-
no,
No, he
that
picked.
was
That
my
was my
first
first
Oh,
one.
no, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm
Second overall pick.
a
Yeah.
bit slow here.
No,
I don't know. I think we covered most of the bases. I would leave KFC out of that. Yeah, I don't know. I think we
McDonald's?
covered the big ones.
I think we did. That was a good. That was a good selection.
Pizza isn't even in the realm of fast food, is
Yeah,
it?
no,
I mean, it
pizza's-
is,
I
but
mean, you could
It's
do
its own thing.
Domino's. I would have accepted
Yeah.
that.
or
but-
Pizza Hut.
Flo, what about Culver's?
it's Culver's.
I don't even-
Culver's.
I don't even want to go down that road.
Culver's.
The frozen custard or whatever. Come on
Yeah.
now.
I've never had it. I don't think so.
They're like butter burgers essentially.
God.
Right?
You had them?
No, but I know there's one by Carowinds.
Yep,
I will say they
exactly.
market that they have fried cheese curds. It is just a mozzarella stick that they cut with
Cut in
scissors.
half, yeah.
That is
No, not in
that is-
half.
That is fried
It's
cheese
a mozzarella
curds, though,
nugget.
So
but
we're back to the mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
All
it's-
right, I love
this is
it.
a
I
full
love it.
This is a full
Mozzarella.
circle
Yes.
podcast. We
Look,
tie everything.
I mean, we can
together
talk fried cheese all day, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. Okay,
I'm
let's do
there.
it.
Let's
Yeah.
go get some afterwards. You know?
Let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do it.
hungry. Yeah.
All right, hey John. Before we get out of here, it's been really fun. I would like you to explain what we're sipping on today in our flights. We have
Okay.
the flights at a round table. We love drinking flights.
Sweet. I already drank most of mine, as did Flo, apparently.
Florian finishes in the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes.
Well, he's a thirsty boy. What can we say?
Yeah.
All right, so the first one we had here was the Edge of Precipice, our
And that could mean
standard pale
anything.
ale. So that's just a good 5% pale ale. It was one of our gold medal winners in the North Carolina Brewers Cup last year. So
Very
very
good.
delicious, very good,
Very
drinkable,
good.
5%, crushable, you know.
Oh, definitely
And
crushable.
Yeah. And then the other one was the Hazy IPA Juicy McJuice Face. That is
Oh,
our
yeah.
flagship. That's our most popular one. It's our
What a name!
That
It's
sounds like a
great,
name
right?
we would make up.
I love it. Well, it's like people will ask me sometimes, oh, is that named after Bodie McBodeface? And I'll kind of look at them like, no, what is that? And then they kind of start explaining it to me, and I'm like, I'm just fucking with you guys. I know what Bodie McBodeface is. Of course I do. But
I don't
so,
know
yeah. yeah. So anyway, there was this thing on the internet a few years ago. You might have heard about the internet. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Juicy is, like I said, it's our flagship. It's our most popular beer.
Sure.
Hazy IPA, everybody loves those.
Very
And
good.
They do.
then,
I think it's like one of those types of beers that's very popular in Charlotte, but kind of fading out.
Yeah, it is
It
fading
is.
out.
But
I
I will
liked
say,
it. I'm glad to see that. Actually,
I rank this in, I would say, my top 5.
It's a
100%.
it's a
It's
very,
very
good beer.
good, balanced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very drinkable, not super bitter.
Nope.
And then the third selection we have here is actually my favorite beer that we make. It's a key lime goza called Pencil Thin Mustache. So it's
And
got about
that-
65 pounds of graham crackers in the mash with it. So it's got lactose, vanilla, lime peel, lime puree. It is
Holy
so
it's
citrusy
monkeys.
and so fucking
yeah,
good.
it's my favorite beer
got-
we make here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final one is the Blix. That's our coffee vanilla stout. We've brewed that one a couple times over the years. This is the first one we've brewed using the Night Swim coffee that was actually roasted just right across the street from us here at the new Night Swim Coffee Roastery.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, it was very neat to be
Shout
able to
out to
partner.
them.
Yeah,
Nice.
neat to be able to partner with our neighbors and do that. So locally roasted beans, locally made beer, and it's one of my favorites too. Coffee and beer are my two favorite drinks.
Love
so
it.
anytime I get to put the two of them together, I'm always very happy. So,
I love stouts. We're entering stout season
It's-
now.
yes, the
Temps
weather-
are dropping.
Exactly.
Stouts are
yes.
pouring, and that was
Yeah.
very good.
Also,
Yeah.
soup season. We are in soup season.
It is soup
Yeah.
season.
Dude,
Yes,
oh my
yes
God.
it is. Is
Yeah,
soup
yeah.
a meal? Let's discuss.
Ooh.
or is that next week?
No, here's a better question, John. Is cereal a soup?
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
Fucking
soup
put you
can-
in a
soup-
blender.
Well, I like it because soup can be cold, right? Because you have your gazpacho.
Gazpacho!
Oh,
Right.
so
when
soup-
did I
so-
say that?
so
That
soup,
was a topic
right?
of discussion. I
Yeah.
said that, yeah.
So soup does not exclusively have to be warm, obviously. So is cereal soup? Or is cereal cereal?
I think in a general sense,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Soup?
Right?
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna?
Could a ceviche qualify as a chunky soup?
I'm gonna say I disagree.
Absolutely
yes.
not.
No, I'm
Well,
gonna
That's more of a salad.
I'm gonna
Oh,
disagree with
okay.
all
I
this.
think
A
I'll go
meat
with salad.
salad.
I think it's meat salad. Yeah.
When you go to the grocery store, there's a soup section and there's a cereal section.
wanna-
Simple as that. We're gonna leave it
They're on separate aisles. I agree.
separate aisles.
But one is
Are you
dry. You have to
kidding
add
me?
the sauce.
But right, like-
I'm
but-
not kidding you.
Right,
the
That's a
sauce,
fair
it's a
question.
drink.
Right.
It's not a sauce.
Florian's
like-
over here taunting about
But you
meat
can
salad.
but you can make soup.
Hey,
I mean, you don't have
take
to
it-
buy soup in a can. You can make soup from like raw ingredients, right? So
true.
when you pour cereal, a raw ingredient, quote unquote, into your milk, is that not making a soup?
I think a soup has to. I think a soup has
I
to be
think-
more than like
one thing.
one ingredient that's in
Well, honey
the
bunches
liquid.
of oats have more than like one thing in there. There's like
Yeah, but that-
clusters
Hey,
and
tomato
oats, and
soup,
sometimes
though.
they come with almonds. And
Yeah.
I actually had a can
Clam
of tomato
chowder.
soup today. Not gonna lie,
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's one ingredient.
but it wasn't a meal.
So
I just don't like this. I think.
Just so you know where we lie, John. We had a.
What do
we
y'all
had,
think
We had a
about the cereal
video
thing?
that popped off, and we talked about is a hot dog a sandwich.
Ooh,
And we agreed it was, and then we got a lot of interaction on Instagram.
I mean,
and,
technically,
most people
it's
agreed with us.
something put between two pieces of bread, right?
Yeah.
Like,
My
That's
whole
a
argument
sandwich.
about where you can distinguish if it is or isn't is how the
bread is
ingredients within the
formed.
bread is lined. Is it vertical or horizontal?
okay,
That's my thing, right? Whereas
Yeah.
I think if it's horizontal, like a hot dog, it could qualify as a taco. And are those their own separate categories? Or is that vertical? Actually,
I
how
think
the
you go
fuck
to
did I do
Subway.
that?
If you
That
go to
is vertical.
You go to Subway, that's a
Vertical.
sandwich. You go to a hot dog stand, that's still a sandwich with a different type of meat in there.
Do you eat a hot dog horizontal or vertical?
Can you?
It's not about how you eat it. It's not about how you take. It's not about how you take it in. It's about how it's presented to you.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And that's a rabbit hole we can go down all day.
I'm here for it.
Make a nest.
Hey, John, underrated vibes here. The beer has been great. We've tried a lot of beer around here in Charlotte, and I'm not one to bullshit. We're not one to bullshit.
Yeah.
Some pretty good beers. So we
Very good.
An excellent
We
selection.
understand.
That was
Beautiful
fire.
selection.
I thank you guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I wish I can't take any credit for how the beer tastes, but our brewer does a very good job. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Glad you guys enjoyed. Thank you.
Shout out to the head
Yes,
brewer.
sir.
Yeah, Alex Schoenthal. He's
Alex
the owner,
Schoenthal.
co-owner,
Alex
co-owner,
Schoenthal.
head brewer.
Co-owner,
Nice.
head brewer.
Yeah, so that
Sounds
way
like-
he's not going to leave.
That's how you do it right
yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly. Make him an owner.
John, we'll be back. We say this with all our guests, but it's true. We love the people we have on. We're not going anywhere. This is something that's long term.
Yep.
Can't wait to have you on the show again.
I can't wait to come back. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Hell
We
yeah,
appreciate
man.
you
We
Come
being
back and
on.
talk some more football.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Talk
that-
about some of y'all's teams for a little bit.
Yep.
Sounds
I
good.
want to talk about a winning team. Come on, guys. Talk about my team here. I mean,
right now, all our teams are pretty good.
Yeah,
That's your 3 and
hey,
O's right
we
here.
could talk college. My team is pretty decent there, but we're
Who's that?
North Carolina State Wolfpack.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think we're a little overrated, but we're going to find out this weekend.
They
at
got
Clemson.
they got real
Yeah.
lucky that first week.
That we did.
Real
That we did.
Is that ECU?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor kid missed 2 kicks, man. I feel bad for him. You know?
Yeah, poor guy. But that's what you signed up to do.
kicks.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're going to college for free in a nice party town, and all you got to do is kick field goals, and you missed them. But that's okay. You're still going to college for free.
It doesn't matter.
He's not getting laid.
Yeah, no, he's not anymore.
4 weeks ago, yes. Now, no.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, John, appreciate you coming on. We're at Lower Left Brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina. Incredible beers, incredible patio. A lot of unique things going on here. John, thanks again for coming on. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you guys again so much for
Yeah,
having
man.
us and for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Good
Sweet.
stuff.
All right, boys.
All right, on to the.
It's time for our pick'em segment. We got some good games coming up this week here. And I'd like to start, there's 2 3-0 teams left. You got the Dolphins and the Eagles. Florian.
God, we've been
Sorry.
high-fiving across the
There's
table.
only 2 3-0 teams left, and it's you two.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are the coincidences?
Yeah.
That is kind of funny.
I mean,
Guys,
after this week, there'll be 1 left, and it'll be
I
us.
do want to say,
It will.
we talked about 2 guests on the show. We're getting down to our 50th minute here. Do you think we should bring Joe on to do the picks with us?
Hey.
I think
Yeah.
we should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get him over here real
Let's
quick.
get
Hold
Joe
on
over
one second.
here. Let's get Joe.
Oh, yeah, we got the
Right.
signal.
Joe.
He's
So
coming.
for our avid listeners, Joe came on for the free range episode. God, I can't even talk sometimes. He's now with Lower Left. He's with both. And
He is
With
with
both.
both. He is with both. Let's
Joe-
clarify that.
Joe was one of our highest rated episodes.
He
guys.
was.
He was a great guest.
He was a great guest. That's why.
And what's kind of crazy is, I wouldn't say it's crazy. I think honestly it should be expected that he's the common denominator. My favorite beers, I would say, among my favorite beers that we've had on this podcast came from tonight's episode, and it came from the episode at Free Range. And I like to think Joe had a lot to do with that because, bro, these beers are absolute fucking fire.
They are.
They're fire, and I stick by it. And I've said it the whole time. Free Range's beers, bro, fire.
Yes.
Just like,
But also
what was it? It
these
was
beers.
it was a sourdough ale.
So I believe at that time was the We Need Each Other. Yeah, that
Yeah,
We need each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Florian, you're saying these beers are right up there.
These beers are amazing.
I think
Had
these-
the lemon meringue, the key lime
dude,
pie.
that
This stout that we just had. We're getting in the stout season, so I'm all for it, dude. Fire.
These might have just won over that.
They might have. Joe,
Fire.
welcome back. We introduced you while you were walking
good
over
to be
here.
back,
What's your favorite color, and who is your favorite player on the Jets?
Oh God. Okay. Well, right now it's a little indifferent about that.
About the color or about the
Yeah.
Jets?
Normally I'd say green, but right now I'm not too happy with that color either.
Can you imagine, like, his wife's like, "Hey, you want to smoke tonight?" Hell no, it's green.
I'm tired of seeing it. No, dude. Well, first of all, it's good to be back. happy to see you guys here. It's a fun little familiar
Hell
thing.
yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Good to have you.
Right out. But to answer your question, green. I do like the color green. If I could just go back to Wayne Corbett, man, he didn't hurt me. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this year, I like Michael Carter. I think Michael Carter is my guy.
Okay.
Really?
North Carolina
Yeah,
kid.
North Carolina kid.
He's looked pretty good for sure.
Yeah.
But still, I might even say Joe Flacco because I think he's got one more time
Joe.
to disappoint me.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I feel like every week there's another week he has to disappoint you, right? But what if he just fucking balls out this year? It's like a revelation in his career.
And
He
the
just
like a
rejuvenates
Ravens.
his.
That's like I would love to have a quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't know if we want to start Zach Wilson. I'd be like, good.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say too,
He's like,
what I saw Sauce held Jamar Chase
Dude.
to 1 reception for 10 yards.
That
last
was-
week.
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner.
He's been-
Cincinnati's finest.
Sauce is looking good.
He's been playing really well. I mean, he's taken on. I think he guarded Mark Andrews against the Ravens and did quite a good
Oh,
job.
really?
I think
Wow.
Mark
He
Andrews got a
guarded Mark
touchdown in the.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
I think this might be a bad tweet I read, but.
I'm sure he did
Hey,
cover
look,
him though.
There are a lot of bad tweets out there.
We actually don't have the information to corroborate that, so it could have
be
happened.
true.
I'd like to
They-
believe it did.
Yeah, the Jets actually beat the Ravens, but they cheated. That's why.
I don't know about that here now.
But yeah, guys, like we said, we're going to get into some picks for the NFL. We just wanted to bring Joe back on to do that with us. Joe
Love
was a
that.
great guest for our podcast.
Hell yeah.
John
Appreciate
was
that.
awesome.
Dude,
Joe,
John's
you,
great
you're
dude.
not-
Great guy.
Yeah.
I see why you work here.
Yeah.
Everybody I met from Casey to John,
Good
the
people.
lower left people, very, very
Yeah.
cool people.
Yeah,
you
in
know?
terms of like directions, I'm fucking with lower left.
Yeah.
Upper right, fuck that.
If I ever have a lower right back pain, I'm gonna be like, you better switch sides.
Please no.
Dirty little girl.
Well, let's hop right into it, Joe. But first, what are you drinking right
I
now?
just had a little sample of the Juicy McJuice face.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figured a nice little staple.
I love that name.
Juicy
You guys had your
McJuice
flights. I
face.
didn't want to be left out. So.
That's true. That's
For
Hey.
sure, for sure. Dan, what's the first game this
First
week?
game we're going to look at is the Thursday night game. You have the Dolphins and the Bengals, and I just want to say the Bengals are debuting their all
White jerseys.
uniforms.
Are their helmets white and black, right?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
white and
Yeah.
black. And the Bengals
nice.
are
Tough.
favored -3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the status of Tua is, Florian. I'm going to let you handle that because I've seen mixed things this week. So I want to throw it to you first. Don't be super long-winded.
No, okay. From what I heard, he will play. I will say the reasons why they are favored has partly to do because they were defending AFC champs. Also, it's a short week, Thursday night. We haven't seen I don't know. I think Tua has played a primetime game before, but this is a good proving ground opportunity for him and the Dolphins, right? If they win this, that's just as big of a win, in my opinion, as was the Baltimore
Yes.
Ravens and the Buffalo Bills
I
because
disagree, but
of the circumstance, prime time, Thursday night, short week.
Sure,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
Also, might I add, if you looked at the Dolphins' schedule up until like week 11,
Yeah.
they could go 11-0.
Oh, hey, you'll say it. I won't say it, but I love that you said
It's just
it.
me throwing some Jets
Florian.
voodoo at you.
I-
But no, if you do look at it, I think
Jets
it's like
voodoo.
yeah,
I'm not familiar, but I was listening to a podcast that talked about it, and I was like, here, and I go, yeah. I think they're favored after the Bengals. They're favored in every game until I think December. So I mean,
Wow.
which is you gotta like that if you're a Dolphins fan.
You
I mean,
should like
that's
that.
That's
Ew.
music to my ears. I haven't heard anything fucking nicer
That's
than
true.
that since Lil Wayne dropped his last
Let me
mixtape.
let
Daniel,
me
what
go
about-
really.
what about
it's-
you?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it really simple and sweet for you.
That's cool.
You got
You weren't
if
feeling that.
Tua plays, I got the Dolphins. If he doesn't, I got the Bengals.
It's pretty
it-
simple.
It's simple.
Is Teddy Bridgewater the backup for the
Yeah.
Dolphins?
Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't think of a better backup. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
For one game,
Yeah.
For
Short
That's
week.
true
Let
for
me-
one game.
let
It's
me
pretty
use his magic,
comparable.
yeah.
And Joe, who's your pick for this game?
I would say I would normally say the Dolphins, but after looking at the helmets, which is like I would fade my pick no matter what you do. Like I've been wrong all year so far. I think I've won like 2 bets, but I would bet the Bengals just the spread. But then again, like I could see very much the Dolphins coming in, but they're kind of in this space for a letdown game. I think after
what
that
I'm
big
worried
win
about.
against the Bills.
Yeah.
Is it at Cincinnati?
yes.
Yes.
Thursday night. I could see So I'll put it this way: I could see the Dolphins losing, and I wouldn't take anything away from them if they did. But if they do win against the Bengals in Cincinnati on the short turnaround of the week, I would be like, dude, official.
We're on to something.
Best team in the AFC.
I would give their coach the flowers already, man.
I agree. I mean, the Dolphins have overachieved to this point. The Bengals have underachieved. So you go into this game on a Thursday night. Who wants it more? Who has more to prove?
Yeah.
And then who ultimately, probably had the better expectations coming into the season. It's not no disrespect against the Dolphins at all.
Yeah.
And also the Bengals, even though they have 2 losses, both those losses were very close.
Yeah.
So at a minimum, this is a close game.
Yes.
Got to go with Joey B and Jamar.
Wow. That's hard. It's hard for you to do that because both teams have great wide receivers.
They do. That's
Yes.
a wide receiver.
it's so much
it's
fun.
showcase.
Yeah,
man.
it's showcase time.
Yep.
I agree.
What about you, Dan?
I'm going to take the Bengals, and one of the couple reasons is, and I'm going to keep it brief here, Tyreek already started talking that he's going to give Eli Apple the business, and you wonder, I feel like anytime people have done that before a game, it never works out. You're going, like, people are expecting 200 yards from Tyreek or 200 yards from another receiver, and that happens. It never works out. So he's going to be trying to do too much. You don't know where Tua is with his head, and I think this is going to be the game where the Bengals figure it out. I just do. So I'm going to take the Bengals. I'd take the spread.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Next game, then.
So we have the Buccaneers and the Chiefs, and I saw a promo for it, and they used a Tom Brady graphic of him with, like, his old long hair. I was like, you couldn't have gotten a more updated picture. Like,
Yeah, what the heck is that all about?
the Chiefs are favored in this game, -2.5.
Are they home or away?
Away. I think it's in Tampa.
I don't have it on the paper.
Is that?
to be
Ooh.
completely
That might be
frank
one of the
with you.
games that's getting moved because of the hurricane.
Oh, no.
Did-
No,
You are
it is.
correct.
It
You are
is.
correct.
Tampa
You are
officially
correct.
evacuated.
They did.
But aren't they
officially
moving? Did I
evacuated.
get that right? Are they moving to Miami for the game?
They
Oh,
no. They are
Wait, what?
practicing.
It
They are
doesn't make sense, right?
practicing in Miami. They
Okay.
have not ruled out
Yeah.
the game yet.
The
Why?
the-
Is it missing Miami completely?
It's supposed to go through the Gulf Coast and hit the Panhandle. That's
Wow,
why.
that's going to be a really
Damn.
bad thing. 'Cause it's
That
going to get warm.
fucking handle.
That's going to get warm water, and that's going to
But
get really strong.
either
Yeah,
way,
that's a valid
even if
point.
it was, it would be in Tampa if it was under normal circumstances. So it would be an away game for the Chiefs.
For me, I'm going to take the Chiefs. The Chiefs had a bad game last week. A lot of self-inflicted wounds. I think they bounce back. And for me, I understand the Buccaneers are 2-1. They have not looked like a 2-1 team this year. Just it seems like there's a lot of issues going on. I don't know if it's Brady and his wife or what, but it just seems like there's
Brady and his wife. Why'd you bring that in this? What's going on with them?
What a subtle.
What's
dig
going on
that
with them,
was.
Dan?
Yeah.
because
Dan.
they've been fighting and
he's-
stuff's coming out about a potential divorce.
Oh, really?
All right,
No, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Let's keep it to the picks real quick, Joe. Who do you think in this?
Oh,
game?
okay. So
I love.
I would
We won't skip this.
like Tom Brady has burnt me so many times that I think at this point in my life I will just always choose Tom Brady when asked. Do you know what the spread on that game is?
Minus
It's
two
the
something?
Chiefs minus 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was a little bit higher, maybe 4.5. I think the Chiefs by a field goal.
You buy some points.
You buy some points, maybe, but I don't know. Well, especially was it Mike Evans, Chris Godwin are supposed to be back. I think they'll have a better
That's huge.
wide receiver core.
Yep.
But then again, I don't know. The Chiefs, every now and then, it's like whenever I doubt the Chiefs or I
Yes.
doubt Tom Brady, they always kick me right in the ass.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's
so it's one of those situations
Yeah.
where I go, no matter
It's a
who I
tough spot
pick,
to be in.
I will
So-
be wrong.
you're letting somebody down. Yeah.
But
I think. Yeah.
go ahead, man. No, you're good.
I think the Kansas City is they're just a little bit better. You know, they're with a few extra players. You know, that have a couple key things going on.
I think we always overrate. And when I say overrate, I don't mean by a lot, but like this, we know Mahomes is right. It's like
Yeah.
the ace in the hole. It's like
Yep.
if there's anybody that can make a play like Mahomes can. And I think it's hard to argue that he's not the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Sure.
Because of that, and last week, like Dan said, they had a missed field goal, a missed extra
Yeah.
point, a
Muffed
muffed
punt.
punt.
I think
2
they got
drop
their
passes.
stinker out of the way, right?
Yeah, they got the stinky out of the way. I mean, and then you look at what Tampa Bay did against Green Bay, who's also struggling, right? Chiefs are my pick in this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a hard pick. It really is. I think this is the hardest pick of the week because you just got two great offenses that with two great quarterbacks, and that's what it is. Who's going to be the better quarterback that night? Really, I think that's what it comes down to.
I think the Chiefs' struggles was a 1 week thing. I think the offensive struggles of Brady and the Buccaneers will carry over at least 1 or 2 more weeks. Now, given that they don't have home field advantage because of the hurricane, I am picking the Chiefs.
Okay.
I love it.
Was that Chiefs all around?
I think
so.
I was gonna say though, like
so.
it's one of those games.
I don't
It's
like
a
it.
very hard game where you're
It
like,
is.
any like thing that we just discussed. I'm like, oh yeah, that persuades me the wrong way. You
The
know,
complete opposite could happen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
Joe, I'm gonna call you like 1 p.m. on Sunday. Be like, who are you picking?
Oh, God.
It's the exact
I
opposite.
need to know.
I would do a live bet on this game though. If Brady is feeling himself, I'm live betting that shit
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
day. Though.
Yeah, we'll just give you a call, be like, Joe, what the fuck? Be like, you just one-word answer, opposite. Complete opposite of what we predicted, everything.
Well, this
out
is
the
like one of
window.
those games that like you hope that because if Kansas City was playing someone else or Tampa Bay, if they were down by a touchdown at halftime, you
Yeah.
go and bet on them. You know,
Oh,
like, it's
yeah,
one of-
yeah,
like,
yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
they're the teams they're well coached, they're gonna do well in the second half.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. It's been fun to see Pat Mahomes do it without Tyreek Hill though too.
It is
True.
because that really proves like how good he is.
Yeah.
Right? You could make an argument that maybe Tyreek Hill had a lot to do with it. He's balling out as good as he's ever done.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, it's right in the middle there. I would say, you know, it's
Dr-
like
I like what you said about Pat being best quarterback in the league, and what you said about Tyreek. You wonder, what does Josh Allen look like without Stephon Diggs in the offense? Because before they had him, he looked like some mids.
Lead
Moving
them
on,
on.
though.
Love that.
Next
Yes.
game.
Next game.
I love to end on
Next
that.
game we want to talk about is the Bills and the Ravens. The Bills are favored
They're great.
minus 3.5.
Who? Bills?
Bills
Yeah.
minus 3.5. Florian.
in
I can also
Baltimore.
throw it to you, Joe. I'm going to throw it to you.
So my take on this, I think if the Bills are healthy, I would say they got 'em by 10 points. Because I think the Ravens' defense is a little
Really?
bit slower this year. I think if the Bills
Yeah.
now the problem with the Bills is their cornerbacks. If their cornerback situation is not figured out, but then again, I mean, you got Duvernay and then Rashad Bateman. I mean, Mark Andrews is a problem no matter what.
No matter
But
what.
I
It's
don't know.
it's no Tyreek Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, no, not at all. But then again, it's like, hey, I think I said this before, but I'm usually wrong. But I don't know if they have their whole offensive line ready. I think the Bills, or their defensive line, I should probably say more than less, that they're a problem. I think they're going to be really good. Their defense is a problem. If their offense can be on, but I don't know. There was a stat from last week? Was it Josh Allen threw? If he throws over 48 passes or 50 passes, they're 1 in like 8 in those games.
Ooh.
So they need a run game. I think if the Ravens can stop and kind of make Josh Allen do it all, the Bills have a hard time kind of competing in that way. I think.
That's a team they should trade for Kareem Hunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be
The
good.
best backup in the league.
Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, because Devin
do it.
Singletary's good, but
this hurts me to say because I think I want the Ravens to win. I just think that the Bills are too good of an overall team, like
Yeah.
defense, offensive, everything, and with a great quarterback as well. And really, what you got for the Ravens right now is decent running backs, great quarterback, and decent wide receivers. I think that the Bills just have a little bit better of all of that.
Okay.
Flo?
Flo?
I'm picking the Bills, and the reason why, because what Miami did to the Ravens offense, the Ravens defense. Sorry, the Ravens defense is, simply put, it's not as good as it was in years past. It's very different compared to what we expect from a Ravens defense. I think you can make an argument the only reason the Dolphins beat the Bills was because the Dolphins' defense was so good in shutting down the Bills. Sure, the Bills ran more plays. Hell, they ran twice as many plays or 3 times as many plays as the Dolphins did. And they had like 400 yards of offense. We had 100-something, right? You would think they would win. It's our defense made enough big plays and key stops to shut them down. There's no way I think the Bills lose 2 games in a row this season. I think that's just very unlikely, even though it is in Baltimore. That's it. That's my reasoning.
Well,
for
I
it.
would say just because you can't lose 2 games in a row is not a good excuse. And I would say y'all's defense, the Miami Dolphins, is playing better than the Bills' defense right now. And I also think Lamar is the MVP of the league right now.
I do
with
have
the most touchdowns in the league. And he's on a mission to get the highest contract in the NFL right now. I think that
that man.
continues. And I think the Ravens pull this out because of Lamar. 100
I
rushing
will
yards.
say, right, the Bills defense, they are missing a significant amount of their starters, right?
Right.
I'm not really convinced yet of Lamar Jackson and his wide receivers. I'm convinced about Lamar Jackson changing the game, mainly due to his legs. And I could not think of a better player to contain Lamar Jackson than Von Miller. Setting the edge, I cannot think of an edge better.
Von Miller's like 34. And
I don't
He's playing
He's
out of his
he's
mind.
a problem, bro.
He is playing
you
out of
literally,
his mind. You're playing
a year
contain.
ago, you were on the Von Miller train.
No, as an edge rusher, I love Von Miller, but contain Lamar, dude, that's night and day. You line him up for a race, it's gonna
You're not going to contain him, but you're going to make
a horse for a turtle.
You're going to make him
outta
run.
here
He's
with
going to
that.
run a lot. He's
I
going to
mean,
run
Lamar
a lot.
Jackson is
at
not going to
least.
be running right down the middle. He's going to bounce out to the outside, and I think more than likely he's going to bounce onto his right side, which is where Von Miller is going to be sitting. Von Miller isn't sitting on his blind side. He's sitting right there on the right. I actually do think he can contain him.
I can see that.
I think he kind of has to at this point. So I don't know. I'm kind of predicting that will
It's
happen.
gonna be an interesting game. Dan.
It is.
Ravens, I like the pick. I think realistically, the Dolphins' defense, I understand score didn't look the same last week. The Ravens aren't that much worse than the Dolphins' defense, personally. And I think if you follow the blueprint that the Dolphins did for Josh Allen, nobody's stopping Lamar right now. I don't give a shit who you are. Nobody is stopping
It's not
Lamar.
about stopping him on every play. It's about stopping him enough plays throughout the game. No one's going to stop him every play. That's impossible.
I
But
agree
it's
with
enough.
that 100% too, because I think you have to stop him enough to let your offense score more than what he's capable of.
Yeah.
I think if you get like Gabe Davis involved a little bit, Stephon Diggs going, 'cause, I mean,
McKenzie?
dude,
This guy came out of nowhere.
who wears number 6, bro? I have no
Yeah.
idea who that guy is, but he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So no, I think the Bills game, their running game is questionable for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think their
it is.
defense, when it's healthy, I mean, dude, let me tell you what. I got the Bills defense in fantasy in a couple leagues.
Uh-huh.
It's
Oh,
won
yeah.
me a couple games. They
Oh,
scored
yeah.
22 points week
Wow.
1. Get out of
No
here.
way.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
dude. I can't get a quarterback to give me 22 points.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, actually,
I can't either.
it's a little- yeah, sorry.
And actually, neither can our fantasy football team. My
Oh.
God, we're starving for a quarterback.
Yeah, we are.
By the way, trade lines are open.
Oh, hey, yeah, listen. I
Speaking
know.
of
Yeah.
our fantasy football
You like that segue?
league here, I
Love the
did
segue.
like that.
Smooth.
Joe is a solid 2-1. Joe, you lost. Was it you lost this week or the
This
week?
week. This week I lost. I was up
Okay.
until Denver's defense got that safety and the interception. I think I lost by 3 points.
Wow. That's
But to be honest, it was like 95-92. Neither of us deserved to win that game. But
Oh, yeah. Well,
All right. I think we got our first win this week. Everybody kind of showed out. We're still kind of working on the quarterback situation. But, folks, we're going to try to propose a live trade right now
I love it. I love it.
before we hop into Daniel's a doofus. Now, Joe, you shared with us that you are you need a running back. I think I was looking over your running backs. That's probably where you're most lacking.
You know,
pull up that team.
Let me pull up my team because I got I'm in 4 leagues, so
Ooh.
it gets. That's not a brag. It's probably more embarrassing than anything. But
I think I saw you have Najee Harris.
I do have Najee Harris. Let me see.
It's not embarrassing. I have a friend that's in 11 leagues.
Wow.
How do
Ooh,
you
is this Flash?
How do you know who to root for?
Dude,
That's
Flash
my
is
thing.
overwhelmed.
An animal.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So my running backs are hurting. I could use. So I have Najee Harris and Miles Sanders. I
Just
do
saying,
I do have Michael Carter and then J.K. Dobbins in the back, but that's
Very
yeah,
low.
That's-
flex material.
And I know,
Yeah.
you have a solid receiving core. So
got
the
2 good
flights
ones.
want to propose to you Joe Mixon for either A.J. Brown or Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Okay.
We're going to
Let
let
me
you think
see.
on that.
Yeah, that's quite a timely time to press a trade with Joe Mixon when he's got a Q next to his name. I like that.
Well, I didn't see the cue, but
No, I'm messing.
you know,
Hey, listen. we can
Whoa.
work some-
He is questionable, is he? I don't
I
know.
would say send it. I would probably, for the sake of trades, I do love it. It's
Yeah.
one of my things I look forward to in fantasy football. Just seeing that little pending transaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's It's like a notification, you know. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll throw a couple things in there, make it a little more interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
You know me. I'll
So,
send
so
it
we've
back.
gauged interest.
Joe,
is what
I'm always
Joe,
interested.
I've had a few beers, so when I get home and I'm editing this episode, I'm gonna send you a
Dude,
couple
I'm
things.
telling you, I think that Chris Godwin's going to be the best wide receiver this year.
Yeah, hey, I would definitely agree.
Or, dude, give Jarvis Landry a chance, man.
All
Chance.
right. All right. Well, hey, we'll see, Joe. We'll talk a little later.
I love
but,
it.
Joe, it's been a pleasure having you back
Dude.
on. Very good to see you. You know, as you said, you know, vibes are always great. You know, having you in the area. You know, he shared us just great beers
Dude,
here.
Fire.
I'm so happy you guys got to come check out Lower Left, the other side of town this time.
I know.
Yeah, exact opposite.
lower left.
It's like, what brewery is Joe going to be working at next in 3 months?
Just these two for now.
We will go there, wherever it
Hey.
is. So.
Yeah, that is true.
But we do have one final segment we have to get into, Daniel, and I'm gonna let you handle it because it's time for Daniel's a doofus.
Yes, it is.
And
yes,
what
it is.
What is Daniel's a doofus?
Daniel's a doofus. Well, first off, let's just say it's a we have to do a little bit of gambling. You know, you can't be part of Daniel's a doofus if you don't do a little bit of gambling. It's where I, Daniel, make some bets, some smart, some dumb. And Daniel's a doofus right now is 1-2.
It's okay.
We are 1-2.
We gotta win. We gotta win.
But
this
We
1-0 in the last 1 week.
Yes, yes. So and that's what matters because we like to stay on a trend of winning.
Yeah. And
Okay.
like I always say,
We
it's
do.
all about momentum.
It is
Some
momentum.
veiny, some not.
Veiny momentum. You tell
And-
me what you think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? We like to gamble here. So and we like to win money. So if you just follow us for that, at least to win some money.
So, what's your pick?
All right, so
what
let's
two
go.
games?
Let's go over the 2 games. The 2 games that I chose today. We've got the Lions versus the Seahawks. Okay, that's game number 1, and I'm going to get into the odds there in a second. For game number 2, we actually have the Dolphins versus the Bengals. I think that's a good game to gamble on as well. I think it's going to be close. If I had to choose out of those 2, let me give you the odds.
The
here.
spread.
We got spread. We got we got Dolphins +4, Cincinnati Bengals -4. And for those of you that don't know out there, that means at the start of the game, the Dolphins either start with +4 points with an they have 4 points at the beginning, or the Bengals are down -4 points. Now the other game is the Lions and the Seahawks, and that is 4.5 points, and the Lions are -4.5, and the Seahawks are +4.5. I think this is my Daniel's the Doofus game of the week.
I agree.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Well, we reviewed it, before we started the episode, and
Yep.
I think we're all in favor of that game
Yes.
out of all.
Yeah, I would say the Lions probably. The more I think about it,
Lions.
the Lions beating the Seahawks by a large amount is
Yeah.
probably realistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's home field advantage.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Seahawks have correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they lost 2 games already. One by 3, one by 4 against inferior teams.
Mhm.
So now you get a Lions team who
Doing some good
offensively
stuff.
is like one of the top 5 teams right now.
Mhm.
They've scored on everybody they've played.
Arguably the most on-fire wide receiver in the league,
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Yes.
has been balling.
Balling.
Absolutely
Balling.
balling. He's
Balling.
becoming a household name.
2 decent running backs. You got Swift and Williams.
Yep.
A good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch. You got one of them's hurt, then the other one's going to do a great job to take over. So, and then you got a decent quarterback compared to Seahawks, where
Yeah.
they've got a backup that's just barely passing by right now.
That is setting the bar very low, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. But he is better.
So Daniel, have you heard enough to make your official pick?
Yes. So Daniel Doofus is picking the Lions. So it is at -4.5, and I will clarify this for everyone. I will be taking 2-point advantage, so I will be taking the -4.5 down to a -2.5 to make my odds better for the viewers that are listening.
So Daniel's taking just to recap, Daniel's taking an alternate spread. He is taking the Lions instead of -4.5. You are taking the Lions -2.5 this week for Daniel's a doofus. What is the wager for the week?
We're gonna do $300.
Okay.
$300.
Well, folks, he's on a 1-game win streak, so if you want to win some money, follow Daniel's bets.
Yeah,
We'll be back with more.
we will, and they will be winning hopefully.
Gentlemen, it's time to get out of here.
It's a shame. This was a great episode.
This was a great episode.
Good one.
Having 2 guests on it, it's been an absolute pleasure. Shout out to John and Joe for hopping on the podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The atmosphere has been great. We're at Lower Left Brewing. Would highly recommend it if you're in the Loso area and those, mainstream brews over there are just a little packed. Come over here. You won't be disappointed with the beers.
So fuck it if they're packed.
Some great beers.
Come here for
honestly, just the better
great
beer.
vibes. Honestly, it's,
Come here. Sometimes those big breweries, they're just not. They're not like into those different
Uniqueness.
beers.
They wanna
uniqueness
be,
beers.
yeah,
They
high
want to put out
stream.
the stuff that they're crushers that everyone can drink socially. That all that. Sometimes you don't always need that. Sometimes you come to a place, you get some unique beers, and you know what? This
Yeah.
Lower Left Brewery has it.
yeah,
I agree.
Unique beers, full of flavor. This has got it.
Exactly. I think for the size of the brewery, the amount of beers they had, in the price per taste bud. Okay, this is a good one. Outdoor patio.
The BPTB.
The BPTB sounds like a gas station.
It
Yeah.
does.
But guys, it's been a great brewery, great time, great guest, like you said, Dan. And as always, follow us at FOTRT Podcast. Anywhere you get your social media, anywhere you listen to your podcast, we will be there. Okay.
We're in there.
It's
We're
like
there.
it's like the football field with the flights and the football. You can't miss it. We're
Can't
right
miss it.
there. So Dan, take us home tonight, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 43 of the Flights of the Round Table podcast. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, wonderful week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.